For everyone that heard what's happened to Michael Jackson, is he guilty or not? Let's discuss. Guilty or not guilty, what's your thoughts? This debate is a very sensitive subject, and we should really care and choose the right words and respect everyone's opinion, because we all have opinions, and it's just life. Things happen, and let's just discuss. What's your thoughts about Michael Jackson? About Michael Jackson and his recent documentary of two guys that came out, James and Wade, and they said that have been abused by Michael Jackson. I'm going to let the images roll through at the back while we discuss. If you have any comments about Michael Jackson, please feel free to comment. And I have a few people last night just kept on like commenting and making really like, they were actually asking me questions. Anna, is this true? Would you think, what's your thought? Would you think about this? Because one lady, she said, Anna, you're so smart. You must know the truth. Like, you know what's happened. Like, all right, so I'm going to give you my opinions. You may not agree, but I'm just going to talk to you through what I think happened with Michael Jackson, and then you're free to comment and you're free to make your own decisions. Let's start with Michael Jackson's early life. What has happened when he started his music? What age did he started his music, and what truly happened during his whole lifetime? Certain things that you may not agree with and you may not believe it because it's just Michael Jackson. You know, the music that he made and the messages, he literally was trying to save the world. And some people would think, how is that possible? Is that really possible that Michael Jackson could really do that? Are you listening to his lyrics? Also accusations about R. Kelly, and many people will say, oh, R. Kelly, I'm sure it's true, but Michael Jackson, I'm 100% sure it's not. Why? You know, so let's discuss why R. Kelly is true that he did it, but not Michael Jackson. You know, sometimes even when someone commits a crime or murder, do you know how many people actually free walking down the street and they committed the murder and they've never been arrested because just there was no facts and there was no proof they have committed a murder. So having no proofs, it doesn't mean. Sanya's watching. Thanks, Sanya. Are you working, Sanya? What are you doing? Please, can someone comment about Michael Jackson? Because I don't really want to speak alone. I want people to ask me questions and comment and let this be a discussion, because I have 1 hour before I have a meeting and then I have to go and it will be too late. Any questions? Oh, I have some friends. I can recognize some friends. What do you think has happened, guys, about Michael Jackson? Can you write a comment? What do you think has happened? Do you think he's guilty or not guilty? What do you think happened? Is he guilty or not guilty? Let's discuss. First of all, let's start speaking about Michael Jackson's early life. Because some people say, oh, he's not, no way, Michael didn't do it. No. But can you tell me 1% why Michael Jackson would not be doing it? Why? What do you think Michael Jackson 100% could not do these crimes? Some people call it crimes. I don't know. Let's discuss. So Michael Jackson's early life, he started at a young age. Guys, do you know how hard it is for a young boy at certain age to be already a king of music and have or be in the music industry? Music industry is so hard, guys. Imagine for a small boy. So let's discuss his early age, all right? His early age, he starts singing with his band, very early age. And what Michael Jackson mentioned was that at his early age, they forced him to lie already. So he said that his family, you know, he was a singer with his band, with his brothers. And he said that his family and everybody around him was saying to lie about asking him to lie about his age. And obviously, oh sorry, what is this? It's just an advertisement. Wait 1 minute. Let me just take this off. Maybe we can pause this one. Wait 1 minute. In the meantime, if anyone wants to comment, feel free to comment about Michael Jackson. So, I don't know why this one is not. 1 moment. I'm trying to connect. What I do, I connect my phone onto my smart TV. And then wherever I'm listening onto my phone, it goes onto my TV. So I just put Earth Song by Michael Jackson right now. We're gonna start. So let's start speaking. So Michael have said that at his early age, he's been thought to lie by his family and his brothers and management and wherever. So he was lying about his age, and he was saying, why do I need to lie about I don't want to lie about he was 4, he was still a child. He said he was 11 and he was asked to lie about his age and say he was 10, and he was like, why would I lie? It's just 1 year difference. I don't want to lie. He said, listen, you have to do what we tell you to do. Just say you're 10 because 10 looks cuter. And 10 looks like, oh my gosh, this guy can sing at 10 years old. Because you know that song, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. That song, at that age, he lied. It wasn't his real age. And they asked him also to lie about lots of things. They asked him, like, you have to make sure you're a hero to the world. Like, just keep lying because that's why they want to buy. So he said, like, that's Earth Song, by the way, at the back. So he was told by his parents at early age that lying, it's okay. So they asked him to lie about his age. They asked him to lie about certain things in the song and that he has to pretend he's a hero and all that. So anyway, so now he said his brothers were just like so different than him. He didn't have much in common with his brothers. Why? Because when they were doing touring, their brothers, especially Jermaine, he would bring all the girls over in the same room where Michael was witnessing all this sexual act with his girls. Many girls, could you imagine? This is like Jackson band at that time, like, is a big band, so they can have any girls. And Michael was witnessing this with his brothers. They would bring girls over, having sex in front of Michael, and Michael wasn't interesting. Michael was like, this is not my thing. I don't want to do this. Like, that's just not who I am. So he witnessed his brothers bring all these people over, and he just didn't like it. At one point, he said that at one point he didn't even want to look like his brothers. He didn't want to have anything to do with his brothers. Didn't want to have even, he said, I felt disgusting just even looking like them. I just didn't have anything in common with my brothers. And I didn't agree what my brothers were doing and how many girls were bringing over, and I was witnessing all these sexual acts they were doing right in front of me in the same room, especially Jermaine. So guys, at early age, he was lying about his age. Then he's witnessed all his brothers doing all these sexual acts. He was very small. He's small boy. He didn't have time for his brain to develop like other children. Do you know how that is important for childhood? It's so important. And he didn't have that. His brothers were a bit older, and they were just living a normal life. They would just bring girls over into the room, having sex with them, throw them out next. And Michael was different. He was like, why my brothers are doing all this? If you see in Michael's lifetime, he didn't have many, tell me please, how many girlfriends or wives did Michael Jackson had? Not many, but yet he had so many boys as friends. That just shows me that Michael did not yet grow up in his mind. he stayed kind of child in his mind. Even his wife, the Elvis Presley's daughter, she said the reason why she divorced him is because he was still like a child. He wanted like a man, and he was still a child, even though she was in love with him at first. But then she realized this guy is still a child. So before we judge Michael Jackson or do any comments, let's just try to understand what could truly happen in Michael's life, Michael Jackson's life. He's a musician. He's a music genius. You know, he's not like us. He has no same thoughts like us. He didn't have the same childhood as us. He didn't have same life as us. He didn't have same boundaries as us. So you must understand, Michael Jackson is not like, he didn't have the same life as us. So like before we judge him, let's just understand what could have happened in his mind. And this is just my personal thoughts. You don't have to agree with me. Many people say that Michael Jackson is not guilty. Many people say Michael Jackson is guilty. Listen, before we even put the word guilty, you know, what could have happened to Michael Jackson that he suddenly thinks that at 36 years old, like a man, he's a man, bringing all these young boys into his house and having Neverland and bringing them into his bedroom and spending so much time. Why? So let's go back to his childhood. He did not have one, right? And he was also abused by his like strict father, and did like the whole thing was just a mess to him. At the same time, Michael Jackson had made music that had a big impact to everybody, even myself. When first, like, people talking bad about at the beginning, when all this accusation came out, I was like, oh my gosh, this world is so evil. Why would they do this to him? Just because he's black, or he changed his skin color, or why? Are they trying to do the same thing as they did to Bob Marley and John Lennon and trying to kill him and all this stuff? So I started to really hate media for what they did to Michael Jackson. And then these accusations came out with James and Wade. So I'm as much disappointed as you guys are. Believe me, I just did not just stop listening to Michael Jackson's music just because I heard he's guilty or not guilty, whatever. Even when I play Michael Jackson's music now, which I decided to not stop playing Michael Jackson. When I play Michael Jackson's music today, I really play with forgiveness in my heart. And I truly believe that everybody should make a concert or something and make it like forgiveness, trying to understand this man. Listen, his life is not been easy. He felt so lonely. You can ask these kids that he was hanging around with. The first what he said was, I feel so lonely and I have nobody to trust. Nobody. Everybody's after something. And then when he was looking at these kids, they were so innocent. Not a child of 7 years old was going to judge him or make certain comments. And, you know, like, he felt safe with children. Because adults, when you see people today, we all fucked up. Everybody's talking bad about everybody. We all hate each other. But Michael Jackson, when he was around kids, he knew that the child cannot hate him, cannot judge him. He could just be himself around children. So now, Michael Jackson feeling so safe around the children, he starts spending more time with children. Certain things that I'm going to tell you now, you may not like it, it may be disturbing, but I just have to tell you how it is. I'm sorry. I cannot just keep it inside me and pretending it's not true when it just is. So Michael Jackson felt safe with the children. He starts spending lots of time with them. He was obsessed. He loved children so much. He knew the kids were our future. He just loved children. But what was love for him and what is love for us as people who didn't go through his lifestyle and were not sure what he went through is different. For him, when he says, I would never hurt a child, right? Let's just talk about that. He says, I would physically not hurt a child. He loves children. What's love for him? Michael, since early age, seeing his brothers having all these sexual acts in his room, probably didn't even know what was normal anymore. You know, he has different lifestyle than us. For him, even the child who said things about Michael Jackson said that what is abuse? What is actually sexual abuse? Children and Michael Jackson didn't realize that sexual abuse can actually be good. So it doesn't mean like I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna rape you, I'm gonna do it. No, sexual abuse can actually feel good. So what Michael Jackson did, and this is, if you have children in this room right now, just put them aside because I'm gonna say some really like detailed stuff. He most of the time he probably wouldn't even have sex with them, but he was masturbating the little boys orally and physically, and slowly on, later on, like if at any point he was gonna penetrate them, he was penetrating them, if he was hurting them, he would just leave it and not ever do it again. So he probably by pleasuring them, he thought this was love. I'm not trying to make excuses, but let's just try and go inside Michael Jackson's mind and what could truly happen in his mind. And I'm not going to be long about this. I'm just going to be very quick because I have to go soon. And I'm just going to tell you literally what could happen with Michael Jackson's mind and why there is possibility that this is truth. So by loving children so much and spending so much time with them, there is possibility that he was like really fascinated by children, you know, because children were so innocent and they will never hurt anybody, and he could be fascinated by their the way they look and the way they are, the way they speak, and so he was fascinated by a child, especially a boy, because he never was one, okay? He never was a boy. Like how to explain, he never was a child. He didn't have time to be a child. So these allegations are truth. I'm sorry, but they are truth, 100% truth. We can all go and cry now and say, oh my God, this is like a man that truly tried to change the world. But you know, these musicians, like, they also have dark side. They have secrets. You know, their brain is not like our brain. Like, you know, they have their own fantasies and their own point of views, and it's just very different. It's very hard for us to understand. Even in Bible, God says, do not lean to your own understanding. Some things you just cannot understand. And we just have to agree with that. That with certain things we just not understand. And you have to just go through a child's psychology to understand all this, but it truly happened. So Wayne said that his mother didn't want to put in certain details, sexual details, into documentary because she was sick. Obviously, she felt guilty that her child was like, come on, this act happened when the mother was upstairs in a room and they trusted Michael Jackson and left Michael Jackson alone in a room with their child. Who would do that? Okay, I love Michael Jackson and everything, but even a child, like, look who's been abused. Like, this is children, they want to be dancers, they want to be film directors. They were amazed by Michael Jackson just as much Michael Jacksons were amazed by children, by little boys. So Michael Jackson has his own world. He has his own fantasies, his own imagination, and I think he got confused with truly love is, because he said I would never hurt a child. He was pleasuring them. For him, this was like, I'm pleasuring you, I love you. He didn't realize that later on this can cause consequences for child's mind, and it's called abuse. So I don't know. Either he didn't want to know, or he thought that all of us were crazy, and he was trying to change the world, and he knows what love is, and this is pleasuring children, whatever. I don't know. So before we judge him, let's just try and understand Michael Jackson and his mind. It's possible that he's fascinated by young boys. It is 100% possible. You know, he spent a lot of time with them, and he trusted them. He wouldn't trust anybody else. He only trusted the kids, because kids are innocent. You know, kids will not tell somebody else about secrets. So when said that Michael Jackson was sexually seducing him for a long time, and finally one night he decided to, if you have children, please remove children from this discussion. So Michael Jackson, one point at night, if you have children in the room right now, please can they just leave? So that night he was trying to penetrate Wayne, and it really hurted him. So he started to cry, and he didn't want that to happen. So Michael Jackson stopped. When Wayne got home, he called him, because, you know, he was very careful. He called him and asked him to go straight to his house, because he couldn't tell him over the phone or text messages. He asked him to go to Michael Jackson's house. And when he got there, he said, sorry, but where are your underwears? Because you should go and find them. They must have some blood on them. So when small child, he goes back home, he finds the underwear. I can imagine what was going through his mind. He was so scared, like he doesn't want to let Michael Jackson down. So he found the underwear, and he looked at the underwear and go, oh my God, there is blood on my underwear. Michael Jackson was right. Like, how would he know this? He knew it because he'd done it so many times. So he knew exactly what could happen, and the certain things he needs to hide. So now he goes, the little boy goes and throws these underwears in a bin and forgets about, and that's it. So it's been, underwear has been disappeared. So many people will say, we don't have any proof that he did it. Facts, proof, wherever, you know. Not now, Deli, you have to wait. So you don't need facts and proofs to prove it. Let's just look at these emotions and the true feelings these boys are telling us. Come on, we're not stupid. You can see somebody's telling the truth, and when somebody's lying. Kelly's lying for sure. I'm sorry to say. Michael Jackson has been... Deli, wait. Come here, come inside. Come. Michael Jackson has been... listen, they thought Michael Jackson to lie at his early age, guys. You must, forgive him. Because he didn't know probably what he was doing was that bad. Because in his mind, he thought, I'm not hurting these children, I'm just giving them pleasure. Anyway, he was still a child in his mind. So let's talk about what these let's talk about the true feelings now that's coming out of these two boys that have been traumatized. Even one girl last night, she commented on my status and said, Anna, she said, she was abused when she was 8. Come on, Deli, come inside now. She was abused when she was 8, and she was so brave. She straight away went and told her family, this person just molested me. But how many children do you know? They're so brave to tell the truth. Do you want to tag Nadia in this video? Why this came out? Okay, I'll tag you. Right. I don't know how to use this stuff. I haven't used this before. It just came out as, do you want to tag this person in this video? Yes, sure. I'll tag you, no problem, darling. So let's discuss. Have I tagged you? I don't even know. I don't know. Let's just discuss. So looking at this, there's two two men, they came out and finally told the truth. And this lady, the girl last night, she messaged me on my status and said, Anna, you know, when I was 8 years old, I just went and told them the truth, what just truly happened to me. Many children, they wouldn't say about, because they're embarrassed and they're scared and they just wouldn't let Michael Jackson down because Michael Jackson's a big star and they were amazed by Michael Jackson. So anyway, I forgot to say what I was going to say. So these men came out and finally had strength to tell the world they still love Michael, but they're traumatized. Why? Both of them just had a son, just had a baby child, a boy. And they said they had images of Michael doing it to them and they knew it wasn't right, guys. So they decided to come out and listen. James, he said, did you watch his interview? He said he hates himself. He hates himself. James, the guy who came out and said that Michael Jackson abused him. Why does he hate himself? Listen, in music industry, you can be sexually abused so easily and not tell anybody. Some women don't even tell their wives. Some women, they just like hide things. Even Aaliyah, when she was with R. Kelly, she was in love with him. She was hiding things. So you cannot say, why would these boys just come out now when Michael Jackson is dead? Because they found finally strength to talk, because Michael Jackson is not here now. Did you see what James said? James said, I still feel guilty on the way to the studio about this interview. I felt like, even though I know Michael Jackson's dead, I felt like I was still letting him down. What the fuck? These kids are so traumatized and they don't want to let him down. They will never speak out. But they said, Wayne said he was going to go to his grave with his secret in his heart. Right. Many people, which I saw on Facebook, I think it's just ridiculous, saying, oh, why all this R. Kelly and Michael Jackson been accused because they're black? No, guys, it's got nothing to do with race. Let's just look how many women's, talking about black women's, been traumatized by R. Kelly experience. Even his wife. If you look at R. Kelly's wife, oh my gosh, R. Kelly's wife, ex-wife, such a good black woman who is always smiling and so smart and beauty. She was the best woman you can have. And R. Kelly left that for small little girls and disrespected her. And she finally left him and she spoke the truth. That he had sex with 13-year-old girls. It's possible. Why do you think it's not possible? And R. Kelly's been caught up lying. He's been lying. And he gets so angry when he's caught up in his lies. Such an idiot. Fucking prick. It's got nothing to do with race, guys. Come on. So, let's think about this. I'm going to tell you something very private and personal. When my mother and my father divorced, they were divorcing, and my mother kidnapped us from my dad and took us to a place somewhere where she was born. And I think I saw her with another man. Sorry to say this. And she just let us go and play, me and my brother. My brother is 2 years older than me. And this is very difficult to say, but she was with that guy and she let us play. We went to play and it was big snow. in Serbia, you know, you can have big snow. So me and my brother, we're like coming into this new area. We're trying to be friendly with everybody, and the people, our friends were like, "Oh, let's just go all the way up the hill, and let's just try and you guys, you two, brother and sister, go and slide down this hill. Like, show us that you can do this." And we're like, okay, we're coming from Belgrade and we are so strong and we can do this. So me and my brother, stupid, my mom wasn't there. So we went onto this slide and it was so high, like really high. So my brother was in front of me, he was first and I was second. And suddenly we just went down and the hill, it was so many trees and I thought we were about to die. Both of us were about to die. So the first thing I thought, I'm going to jump out and save myself, because I thought my brother was going to do the same. So I jumped out and broke my arm, and my brother, he stayed on that wooden thing. You know that wood in Serbia, you have that wooden thing. You just like you use it as a slide and you just go down over the snow. So he stays on it, and he had an accident, and it pushed him up like he was flying and hit the tree, and he just fell, and the white stuff started coming out his mouth. And I'm like, with a broken arm, I'm like going to the nearest neighborhood to ask for help and please help my brother. So they came. My arm was broken, completely broken, because I jumped out. But my brother was unconscious. So they took my brother to the hospital, and the white stuff was still coming out his mouth. My mom, she was so scared. So anyway, thank God everything. My brother had operation. He still had a scar now on his chest. And I had, that thing for the broken arm. And you can see it. It's white, big thing. And my mother, the first thing she said when we came out of the hospital, she said, "Oh, what am I going to say to your father? Your father's going to kill me now. He's going to take you away." And I said, "Mom, don't worry. I will lie for you. I would just take this white shit off and I will pretend my arm is not broken. So I will just keep my arm like that. And I will pretend my arm is not broken to protect my mother." How many children, they're ready to lie. And what extent to pretend the ones they love? I was ready to take all that thing off and tell my father, "Oh, nothing happened, Daddy, nothing happened," so that my mom doesn't get in trouble. So children, we are so innocent, and we would go to such a big extent to protect the one that we love. Okay, guys, I don't know what else I can say. I think I have finished. I don't know if you have any comments. I don't know what else I can tell you about Michael Jackson. I still feel, even if come on, I cannot stop listening. Even if when I was so angry, I wouldn't stop listening to his music, especially like "Man in a Mirror." I'm gonna make a change. Oh my God, the lyrics, come on. And I still want to listen to Michael Jackson lyrics. And even if I listen to Michael Jackson lyrics, I will listening with the forgiveness in my heart. And I advise all these boys that have been traumatized to, even have a concert and have a big, "We forgive you. And we are free now. We can move on with our lives. And we are free." So, guilty or no guilty? Guilty or no guilty? I say 100% Michael Jackson is guilty of sexual seduction of the young boys. Sorry, guys. We still love you, Michael, and we forgive you. I will not stop listening to his songs. I was so angry at the beginning. I was like, I'm not going to listen to anymore. But I will listen. I will listen with the forgiveness in my heart and understanding what could have happened through his mind. And you know what I always say? The key to happiness is forgiveness. When you forgive, you finally set yourself free, and you can be happy. But the more you keep the hate and the stuff in your heart, you will just hurt yourself even more. So I decided to forgive and still listen to the songs with because I understand that certain things could have happened into his life that he didn't even realize how much it could have affected certain children and little boys. That's my opinion. I know that many of you will not agree. I'm so sorry. But I just love Michael as much as you guys. Seriously, he changed the world. He gave so much money to charities, and we love him. We really do. And we forgive for his, let's say we forgive Michael Jackson for his childhood. We forgive Michael Jackson for his parents, for his early age music business that he just got lost in the whole world. Because I just want to say something before I go. Listen, the whole world is full of shit, okay? This world is corrupted. It's over. It's very rare that you find good people. And Michael Jackson, I believe he was one of these good people, but he didn't realize that sometimes how to put the words together so that I don't upset anybody. Okay, let me start again with different phrase. The world is really bad world. Michael Jackson knew that. Escape from this horrible adulthood and the horrible world that only adult can make such a horrible world is with children. It was like escape. It was another planet. He did not want to face us, guys. He didn't want to face an adult. He didn't want to face all these judgmental people and horrible people. He was in love with children. And that's it, guys. I hope I didn't upset anybody. Please forgive me if I upset anybody about my opinions. But I still pray for Michael, and I also pray for these children, because for these kids, they could end up hating themselves without knowing why. You know, this is just another psychology, child psychology. But you can later on start hating yourself without knowing why, because you've been just used and abused, and you can hardly see your self-worth. You know. One more thing I have to say. Sorry if I'm a bit longer. How is it so strange that circles repeat itself? Usually when a child comes out from the worst family or something, the circle keeps repeating. Like, and then she married somebody that she's going to divorce, or it just, the circle keeps repeating. Same thing, R. Kelly, he was abused as a child. So was Michael Jackson. It's more likely, I'm going to tell you something that's very, I'm talking about psychology. It's more likely when you've been abused as a child, the circle can repeat itself. Why? Power, okay? When you're a child and somebody abuses you mentally, emotionally, sexually, physically, when you grow up and you become an adult now and you have a chance to have that power, you want to use it. And it's more likely that you will feel powerful if you can control somebody else and if you can manipulate somebody else, because you've been abused all this time and you've been manipulated all this time. So you now want to, certain people would not do that to another person, but most cases it's just circle that keeps repeating itself, and it's just, you cannot avoid it. It's impossible. It's just you. It's just in your, the way it is. So when you get abused as a child and then you grow up and suddenly you have this power, you know, and especially if you're a musician, you have even more power. There's no boundaries. Listen, you're Michael Jackson, you're R. Kelly, you can have everything you want. There's no boundaries, there's no limits. You can lose your mind because normal things are not interesting to you anymore. You want to try something that's not ordinary. You want to try something that's not ordinary, and you have the power now. So now you want to use that power and use that control and use that manipulation towards somebody else because you had it. So you want to feel how it's like, and the power, and also anger. It comes from anger. R. Kelly is 100% angry for what happened to him, being molested when he was a child, and he's a man. So taking this manhood away from him, he kind of lost the sense of power. Same thing with Michael Jackson. So when suddenly he becomes an adult and he has all this power and more money and more girls and more boys and more wherever, and there's no limits because I'm the god now. I can just manipulate and anybody I like. And listen, until you're in their place, you cannot understand. Until you find that, until you find yourself until you're actually abused as a child, or until you understand how powerful you are, because most of us, we're not as powerful as they are. We don't have that much money. We don't have people saying yes to us wherever we go. They have yes people around them all the time. Guys, try to understand before you say, oh, these people are lying. These two men that came out, please, I pray for them. Please be more aware of their feelings and what they've been through and how they feel now and what they're still going through with their lives and their children and their family. I really, really pray for these guys that came out. And I ask you the same. Please have more compassion towards them and not call them liars and not throwing all these comments at them. Same as Michael. We shouldn't to Michael Jackson either. Just be more understanding of what could have happened in the minds of R. Kelly and in the minds of Michael Jackson, and also in the minds of these victims that now had to live with that all their lives. You have no idea how it's like when somebody manipulates or somebody tells you, oh, you're going to be a star at 13 years old, or you're going to be a dancer and I can make that come true. And then you just give yourself to them because you love them, you're fascinated by them, and they know that. They use their power to manipulate, especially children. And so keep your children next to you all the time. You cannot trust anybody. Even one girl told me last night, she says sometimes you will not listen. Sometimes you will not even leave your child with a stepmother or stepfather or even a father or mother. You never know. Go live with Marcus. You want to say something? Wait, I invite you. All right, speak out. I don't know how to use this. You want to say something? I don't know how to use it. I was just about to end this video. I don't know how, guys, approve. All right, I approved you. They receive an invite to join your broadcast. Right. I'm adding you. Is it working? I'm sure you want to say something. Feel free to say wherever you need to say. I don't know how to use this. I just added you. If you want to join the broadcast, you can join, no problem. Request, yes. I'm adding you, but it's not working. I'm sorry, guys. So feel free to join the broadcast if you want to see, because I was just about to finish it. I was just about to finish I was just about to finish this. If you have, does anybody has anything to say or any questions about this? I don't know how to use this. I tried to add you on the broadcast, but I really don't know how to use this, guys. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. You can type. You can type. I don't know how to use this. So anyway, you can always comment, and I think I can see things, and I will answer any questions. Feel free. Sorry, guys. I tried to add you Marcos on my broadcast, but it looks like it's not working. I'm really sorry. I have to go now. Any questions? Anybody has any opinions? Don't be scared to comment. All opinions are welcome. And somebody said, like, I cannot, like, really, there's really certain comments people said last night, and I can't remember exactly what they said. But feel free to ask any question. Thank you, guys. I have to end now. If you want to ask any question, do it now, because I don't know how to do it. And I did approve you. I have approved you, guys. Sorry, I did approve. I pressed approve for you to join broadcast, but it's not working. I don't know why. I don't know if I can see any comments. I don't know how to use this. Sorry, guys. I will get hand of it. I don't know. So, anybody wants anything to say or have opinion about Michael Jackson? Any questions before I say goodbye? Before I say goodbye, I said what I said. Do you guys have anything to say? Type now on the comments. Ask me questions. I want to know. Just one question that I can answer. I really, really like. I don't know how to use this, guys. Sorry. And I have invites here, and I just don't know how to use it. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know. I have to go now because I have a meeting. I will always be able to answer any of the questions. Love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye. How do I finish this? No. Press finish. Press finish. Bye, guys. Take care of each other. And please be sensitive to people that just came out. And respect their true feelings. Love you guys. Bye.